Hey, besties. Let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? Let this be the last season of the Braxtons. They do not need to come back. They are toxic. They are in a bad way. If they don't come back next season and have therapy sessions, I have it all figured out, besties. If there's 8 episodes, they need to have therapy with the dad, the mother, the 5 sisters, and the brother. Oh, sorry. There isn't 5 sisters. My bad. R.I.P. Tracy. Take that back. The 4 sisters, the brother. Okay. That leaves you at 7 episodes. And then the 8th episode can be a group therapy session. If we don't get that on our TV screens next season, don't bring these pitiful, toxic, jealous, evil, mad, grudge holding, gaslighting women, sisters, siblings, same mama, same daddy. Don't bring them back. It's just, we don't need this on our TV. We don't. We don't. But welcome, besties. You are now behind the shade, and thanks for joining me. I recap your favorite reality shows weekly. Now let's kiki and ha ha and shake our heads and get into another episode of The Braxtons in season 2, episode 5, The Queen and I. Besties, how much you rate this week's episode? For me, it's come see, come saw. It's not an up or a down, or it can be a down. This is just, it's too much. It's too much. And we're gonna deep dive into this. So drop down in the comments, let me know what you thought. Please like the video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and make sure your notification bell is on so that you know each and every time I post my content. Now we continue this episode from last week. We ended at Tawanda's bridal shower. Cool. Tawanda is finally starting to enjoy her guests and get into the groove of the day. Okay. And then she notices that her sister Trina has arrived. But she says something seems off with Trina. Trina tells her she's okay. Trina has on this big old Bridgerton costume with she looks like she's a centerpiece of a table, like with the lazy Susan attached to it, right? She got the big old, one of them dresses. It's cute. I like it. That was clever. No one had that same dress, so that was like, okay, she took it there, right? And I kind of feel like maybe Tawanda should have been wearing that dress, but Tawanda was more focused on having a purple wig, honey. So now Trina has to use the bathroom, but she's not going to go inside because the dress is humongous, it's wide. It's like, ugh, you take it off, Pete, put it back on. You kind of just don't want to go through all that. So this dress, she's able to pee outside. So her and Tawanda go to the cut outside in the backyard. She pees because she has on no underwear, no undergarments. So it's easy for her to use the bathroom, but she doesn't have any toilet paper. So Tawanda suggests that she shake, shake, shake in a circle or something like that and just shake herself dry. Ew, ugh, ugh. Let's move on. Sir Sean shows up with the Dukes, honey, and they're in their Bridgerton costumes, honey. And Vaughn is one of the Dukes. And I was like, that's cute that the brother in law's, hanging or whatever. But looking at Vaughn, he's sickly. Very, very sickly. Yeah. So yeah. And I can't help but think of, Trina and his YouTube channel. I heard they be on TikTok cooking up a storm too. But Trina, it's time to cook more healthier. It's time to get on a diet. That man looks like he got 1 foot in the ground. He looks like high blood pressure, diabetes, kidney failure. He does. He looks like he should be hospitalized right now. Poor Vaughn. But Trina, you got to do better, girl. You got to do better. Okay, so They begin the bridal shower games. You got to make a dress with the toilet paper and blah, blah, blah. So then Sean passes all the ladies a gift. And child, it's a little itty bitty miniature Birkin bag. And it's kind of like, what are they going to use that for? And so I looked online, the real Hermes bag, that small. Besties, do y'all know that bag is $2,300? It looks like a coin purse or a refrigerator magnet. Like, what are these girls supposed to do with it? Is it a paperweight? What do you do? Is it a pendant? Do you put it on your blazer? Like, what they supposed to do with that? So then Vaughn gives Tawanda a gift, and she receives her favorite perfume, and that makes her so happy. Now, Tamar is rehearsing for her tour with October London. This will be her sophomore album that she will be touring with. It's called Calling All Lovers. And Calling All Lovers didn't get the recognition that it deserved because Tamar ended up having blood clots, and I guess she couldn't tour. So this is her big up now. She's going to do the thing now. So Trina is gearing up. She's at her real estate office and she's getting ready to get some houses ready to show for Faison Love. Once he comes off the road, he wants to reside in Atlanta. So, honey, Trina's like, cha-ching, cha-ching, baby. And I'm like, that's what's up. Tawanda, so what you gonna do for a living? Because, girl, acting is not your ministry. Producing, not your ministry. Directing, like, no, like I suggested to you last week, and I'll say it again, Tawanda, why don't you find another background gig? I mean, I also told you to just go get a job, go get a regular job. You have a degree, go work for the city, the county, something, phone company, the energy company. Like, I don't know, but honey, I mean, Dr. Heavily is running. Why don't you go support Dr. Heavily? She's running for she's in politics trying to she got a campaign. Go work with her. Do something. I don't know, but do something. So Tawanda and Evelyn, they stop by Trina's office and visit her and they bring gifts and all that. Okay. So then Trina sits them down because it's like she says it's time to tell them what's going on with Vaughn. So she tells them that he is, he's suffering from congestive heart failure. And so, Tawanda's just like, oh no, you should have told me. And so Trina's kind of like, well, you're getting married, you're busy. I didn't want to bother you. And, I was scared to tell you. And so they're like, okay. So, honey, now, Toni is going to fly Trina and Tawanda to Miami to her concert, right? And so Trina makes it to the concert, but Tawanda doesn't make it to the concert. And besties, I don't know about you, but it was giving, this girl has a jealous streak in her, right? I told you that Tawanda and Trina are the have-nots and Tamar and Toni are the haves. Yes. And I believe Tawanda is being very tit for tat with Toni. It's like, I'll come to Miami for you to spoil me, but I'm not coming to support your concert. Maybe it triggers her. Maybe she's like, oh, I used to be a backup singer. Oh, I used to be this. Oh, I used to be her assistant. And how dare she want me to come in? Da, 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 da. And it's just like, and how come Toni didn't ask them to be her backup singers? You know what I'm saying? Like they know the songs, right? She was inviting them out. Why didn't Toni, why didn't they substitute for her backup singers? Because her and Angie Stone share the same backup singers. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's pick apart Toni Michelle Braxton. She ain't right. She's not right. And she likes to pretend like she's so busy and she can't show up to nothing. And to this day, I do not understand how Tawanda told you about her bridal shower 8 months ago. And you added this concert. Now, I'm not counting your money because I know you didn't file bankruptcy twice. I don't know if you're just trying to hustle and you need all your money. I don't know if you're taking care of all these people and you cannot afford to say no. I don't know. But I think that is cold that you could not show up for your sisters for their important times like this. This is important. And then for Tawanda to tell us that Toni was supposed to put on the bridal shower. So not only did you pull back from your obligation of throwing the bridal shower, you don't come to the bridal shower. Oh, that was the least you could have done, Toni. Y'all be so mad at Tamar. I'm looking at Toni. Tamar has her things. And most of her issues is her personality. And we know, I already told you where that comes from. I didn't already broke it down. I told you they let her do that because of what happened to her. And now it's biting them all it's biting them all like, oh my goodness. Now she can't, you can't control her, right? But two things can be true at the same time. Tamar can be a mess, but they are not treating her correctly. Tawanda. We're gonna get into that too. I'm gonna take my time. So is this tip for tat? Tawanda don't want to come to the concert because Toni didn't come to the bridal shower? Huh, huh, huh. I'll just let you spoil me tomorrow, but F your concert. And this girl needed backup singers. Why didn't you ask your sisters to do background for you? They were coming. You need them. They know the songs. Toni ain't beep. So Trina makes it, she's backstage telling Toni how great she looks. And, she's big up in her sister as she should, right? And so, the excuse for Tawanda not being there is that her body is breaking down, from the car accident. Because, Tawanda gonna let you know that she was hit by a car. That was your karma. Because, honey, how did you get hit by a whole car at an airport? You're not driving that fast at an airport. You were coming out of the terminal onto the street. You can't go no that fast. People are loading, unloading, folks. How did you not see this car? I mean, if the car was coming at me, I would have done something. You would have got my foot, not my body. That woman rolled over Tawanda. You hear me? And this is her karma because this girl got hate in her heart. And she can't stand the success of her sisters. Okay. Now remember, Toni don't have a backup singers because she shares the same backup singers as Angie Stone, and Angie Stone was just in a fatal car accident, and the backup singers were recovering because they had minor injuries, right? So instead of letting them sing for her in her set, she brings Trina out on stage, right? And they sing Breathe Again. But this production doesn't pay We TV so we can hear a little bit of the song. We couldn't hear anything. And then they sang one of Angie's favorite songs by Toni Braxton, I'm assuming. We didn't get to hear that either. Oh, brother. But great show. The engineers, they love, producing or whatever the engineering for Toni. She's a great look. She's easy. She's good on the eyes. She be half naked. So they enjoy watching Toni the Braxton. Okay. Maybe they're big fans of her music. We don't know. So it's the next day, and Tawanda has 12 more days until her wedding. And so Tawanda and Trina, they go out on a boat, to meet Toni. Toni is always late. And it's just, Toni just don't care. And this is just something about people who are always late. And I get that you're a superstar, you're a singer, you're a performer, you be having stuff, you got rehearsals, you have lupus, you got to take naps. But incorporate all that when you're planning your day. Nobody should be sitting down waiting on you. I don't know how long they waited. They didn't post the time stamp on the screen, but it's rude to be late. Just because you're Toni Braxton, Like you're just like you just got this about you. You know, Tony ain't beep. She get on my nerves. Like as a person on this show, you know, and she just walks in. Oh, you guys, no apologies. They give her the blues about it, and she just I had to take a nap because you know I performed last night. Incorporate the time. Pick a time where you can be there and be there, Tony. Come on now. People, get over yourself, honey. Get over yourself. Okay. You've been famous for 30 years, I want to say, a little bit over. You should know how to get somewhere on time when it comes to your sisters. Carve out the time and be intentional. But hey, the boat can't even leave, y'all. They supposed to go out and sail onto the boat can't leave. It's so windy. They were like, no, it's dangerous. We can't go out. We can't go out. No, we can't. Do you want to flip out this boat and drown into the ocean and never be heard from again? The girl got a wedding to go to. She no, you cannot leave. It is windy out here. Okay. So then Tawana comes up with a great idea. And she's like, oh, wait, no, y'all, wait. Toni gets on, her wig is disheveled. Honey, it was messy. It was, she got caught in that wind. So she uses a fork to comb her hair. They call it Dingle Hopper from some movie. Wow. Now I don't ever want to use a fork in a restaurant, on a boat, on a cruise, on a yacht, on a sailboat, a rubber boat. I mean, we're using forks to comb our hair. Toni. So Tawanda says, well, you know what? Since we can't cruise on this ship and have, the little charcuterie and the champagne, you could take me to Mr. Child's, honey. You could take me there. And it's like, Tawanda. And you know what, besties? Let me stop. Back up. How come Toni, and maybe, well, I don't believe she did, so let me finish. How come Toni just didn't pay for the shower? If you're not going to be there, you didn't come on the trip, you always got excuses. Why couldn't you just pay for it? And I think Tawana would be A-okay. Forget a trip, because that is something else. You're going to let this girl, she's planning her big bridal shower, and you want her to fly out the next day to Miami. She ain't got time for that. She's 12 days down. Why didn't you just pay for the shower? I think Tawana would have been just fine with that. So Tamar goes to eat with Phil, and the three sisters are going to Mr. Childs, and they're going to do a flip the screen of this conversation. They're going to tell both sides of how they feel about the fight. Now, I'm going to take my time. Toni was late to Mr. Childs, but it seems like she wasn't that late. She seemed like she tried. And it's like, Toni, oh, does she live in Miami? Because does Birdman live in Miami? Because I did hear Tamar say that he bought her a new house. Where? Because she already lives in LA, and I think she has a house in Atlanta. Does she live in Miami? Anyway, so Tawanda says Tamar is not coming to the wedding because Toni asked. She says, nope, she's not coming. Nope, she's not coming. And Toni was like, oh, wow, yeah, I was upset at myself, for reacting the way I did. And it's like, exactly. Exactly. And let's talk about this. I was upset too, Toni, because they ripped Tamar a whole new one last week. But that interaction where it almost could have been a fight, Toni, you started that. Okay? Let's be clear. You started it. Yes, Tamar goes too far with her mouth. Two things can be true at the same time. She says something that got under your skin. You don't know how to deal with Tamar, how she gets under your skin. That's fine. We're going to do each moment. We don't know what's going on with you. Each moment, each moment. What she says, she went too far. The comment was, oh, so you think I'm sleeping with Birdman too? That is her current husband. Honey, Toni is in love, honey. She don't play that. Don't talk about my man, my man, my man. And I get it. But if you gonna jump, if you're gonna act froggy, you need to take care of Tamar. Don't jump up to get in her face and all this. I'm royalty. I'm the real deal. You don't want to talk about me. You don't want to come for me. I'm legendary. I'm the Toni Braxton. Girl, and then you need to sit your butt down and act regal, okay? You should have jumped up, got your purse, and left. You jumped up and got in Tamar's face. You stood over Tamar. Tamar hadn't gotten up. You jumped up, which made Tamar jump up because you're not going to stand over me talking smack. I got to protect myself, right? So she's all, I don't believe I acted like that. Yeah, but you take no accountability for being the first one to jump and stand over Tamar. You got riled up, but I don't hear you taking any accountability, not that ego. And that's what's wrong with these sisters. They all have these humongous egos. And as long as you have them and you're going to hold on to them, you will never be accountable. You will never come to the fold to just say and be transparent and want to mend. Trina had to break y'all up because you Billy Bad A. Trina says Tamar's behavior was unacceptable. And, you know, there's some things you just can't say. You can't talk crazy to your sisters. I agree. So if you remember, Trina gets up. She has to defend Toni. So what does she do? She says, I can't let them fight because it's like a Rottweiler and a Chihuahua. Girl, really? You a German Shepherd? You bigger than both of them. You darn what's that dog oh I can't think. You know the one. Oh the mastiff, bull mastiff. You the bull mastiff. If they a Chihuahua and a Brock Marmaduke. So Trina gets up and tries to break them up. Now, where she went wrong, of course, she's on Toni's side. Okay. She jumped up, got in between them. She had her back to Tamar and she put her hand on her to prevent anything. It wasn't a push, but it was a push. It was, there's different types of pushes, right? She did a stop push, like a push for her to stop, not to go any further, not to push her to where she's moving her from where she's standing back, just to like stop. But she put her hands on her. And that's what Tamar said. Don't put your hands on me. Tamar never said she pushed her. She said, you put your hands on me. And for the record, Trina, Tamar pulled your wig, not your hair. Be petty with that one. She pulled your wig, not your hair, boo. Okay. And if she kicked you, did they run the tape back? Tamar, why you kick Trina? But you had your back to Tamar. And that says, you know, F you. Don't you touch my sister. It said you were defending Toni, you know. And so that was that right there. Yeah. You know what, Trina, next time, mind your business. Mind your business. Okay. Them girls was not gonna fight. I doubt seriously. And if you guys, I looked at it again. Tamar, when they stood up, Tamar had her, she was holding her arm. Wait, take that back. She had, I say, she took her right hand and she was holding her left wrist down by in front of her. So she was making sure she wasn't going to hit Toni Michelle Braxton. She was going to make sure nobody was going to have to press charges on her. She was holding her hand, her arms, so she would not, you know, make the first hit maybe. Because I know if Toni would have hit her, she would have hit back. Mm-hmm. Had to get some water. Okay. So, whoo. Tawanda says she is not accepting Tamar's tactics. She's done. I said, well, you know what? Why don't you pay Tamar the money you owe her? How dare you put her on a credit report as a creditor so you don't have to pay her back when you file bankruptcy? And what is it? Is it 35 or is it 50? Tamar said it was 50. You said it was 35,000. How much? Pay that girl her money. It's funny how somebody can cut you off and want to talk about their energy being protected and this and that. And you owe that woman thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that you don't have. You trying to make a movie. Do you plan on paying Tamar back? Because if you are, I'll pay you. What I got? Are you going to the movies with it? What I gotta do? Stream it? Amazon Prime? What? Give Tamar back her money and then stop talking to her. Maybe she would treat you differently, huh? If you pay her back her money. She told you it was not a gift. You were supposed to get a check in a couple of days. She was fronting that money for you so you could get that house, and you never paid her. Funny how you want to write her off. You have not. Whoo, honey. And then one of my subscribers let me know that Tamar was in another show that I forgot. I didn't know. So I think it's called Big Brother or something. Tamar she be working, okay? So, child, she ain't accepting her tactics. Pay her back. Except you accepted her money. You accepted her money. Child, Tamar is turning into an alcoholic because of them. Tamar says she normally goes dry for a month before she goes on tour, honey. But these girls stressing her out, and she been throwing cocktails back to back to back, honey. So her friend Phil says, heal the relationship. She looking at him like, I think, what you think? This ain't our first rodeo. If not, move on. Oh, like she's trying. She came back to this show to help these broads out. She didn't need this show. She was a friend of last season. If Tamar wasn't on this show, we wouldn't be watching. Because why do we want to look at Trina and her double chin and Tawanda's bald-headed butt? For what? Child, Tamar said, I've done that 3 years ago. And people keep pressuring me to come back. People like, who? Who's pressuring you? Who? Your brother don't fool with you? Your daddy? Your mama? Who? Logan? Who is pressuring you, Tamar? No, I don't think no one cares enough. And you ain't got no friends. Who? James? Chanel? Who are these people? Tamar. Who? So Phil says, well, just love them from a distance. I'm like, okay, I can do that. I agree. Love them from a distance, child. So Tamar says, these sisters, they are toxic. And, she is she's stressed. Oh, they are toxic. Tawanda is a mess. Tamar, you got some of your traits too. But at least you're trying to work on it. At least you vocalize, your delivery sometimes, but the message is clear. Okay, so, and she says, you can't heal if you don't want to. She says she showed up to this show this season to heal. She thought that's what they were going to do. That didn't happen. And that's what I'm saying. We need some supercharged therapists for season 3 if they come back, they shouldn't. Start with the parents. That could be the first episode. Start with the sisters, the brother, and come to. We might need 2 episodes for the group. Come together and just try to get to it. And you know what, I was talking to a friend last night when we were watching it, and I was like, you know what? It's something with that mother. I would like to figure out how Evelyn was raised. Did she have siblings? Were they cool? Were they not cool? Because how did you allow? Not how did you, I'm gonna say, how did you allow these girls to turn out like this? Not that it's your fault, but you're there. I just feel like you have a say so. You're their mother. You have a say. You know, the father. How were you raised? Where are your siblings? How did this group become so toxic? Ugh, especially when there's no illegal substances involved, right? Normally, toxicity comes from abuse of something, and that's not the case here, I don't think. How did we become so toxic? I tell you, hatred and jealousy. And how come Tawanda just cannot come out? She has just say, I don't like Tamar. It's the I just cannot be around people who just bring me down and my energy and the positivity of the earth. I mean, why do you do that? Why do you do that? Why can't you just say, I don't like my little sister and I don't want to have anything to do with her, and I'm going to write this check and send it to her, and then I will walk away and enjoy my peace. Tawanda, you ain't going to get no peace. You going to keep getting hit by a car. Keep filing for bankruptcy. Keep, I don't know much about you, but you're going to keep if you don't stop. So Phil was asking, like, well, what happened, child? You didn't tell me. So, child, Tamar said Toni got up like she was Teresa from the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Honey, the way I cackled, she done flipped the table. And so I was like, yeah, she was trying to. She sure did jump up. And what was she was going to do? Nothing. And let's go back to Tawanda talking about you want to press charges. Let's call the police. Are you serious? Are you serious? Tamar should call the police on you for stealing her money. Oh, she can. She hates Tamar. Who would suggest that? Tamar did what to Toni? Why are you at? Ooh, let's press charges. Really? I don't recall Tamar touching Toni. She pulled Trina's wig and kicked her. I don't get it. Just Tawanda. Then Tawanda is saying how she's not going to deal with Tamar's mental abuse, emotional abuse, her verbal abuse, and now physical. And then here go Toni with this dingy, oblivious. I told you she act like a blonde. Physical? I didn't see anything. What do you mean physical? She threw water on me. I didn't see that. Toni don't see nothing. Toni, golly, ding dong. You didn't see her slap Trina's glass of water all on Trina, on Tawanda? You didn't see that. And Tawanda, were you trying to call the police because of that? Child. Child. Ooh, Tawanda. Ooh. 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 So, and she blamed us for being served. Oh, yeah, you guys knew about it. You had something to do with it. You had something to do with it. And even that's weird. Why would I don't even want to get into Mikey right now because I think he's more disgusting than any of them. So anyway, Tamar said she brought the letters because she knew that they was going to act like they didn't know about it. I know, and Trina was the one. I don't know that. I mean, you ain't seen my name. I don't know what you talking about. So Trina going to say that she hit her first. She pulled my hair. So Tamar was like, man, I was getting ready to go red when Trina got in the way. And then Tawanda came over. And so she said, yeah, Trina got her lick in. That's what she was doing, getting her lick in. When she jumped in there and she tried to, keep Tamar away. Yeah. Uh-huh. So Tony's like, do we want to have a conversation with Tamar? Oh my God, Tony. No, Tony. No, stop it. They need to be having a conversation with you or why you can't never show up. You didn't go on the trip. You promised her you was gonna be at the shower. You promised her you was gonna throw the shower. You did neither one. They need to be mad at you. And why are they not mad at you, Tawanda? Tawanda, why are you not mad at Toni? Why is Tamar getting all of your smoke? Does Toni pay for something? Huh? Talk to me. Because make it make sense. Why does Toni get off the hook? Because she's the Toni Braxton? Because she fired you, ruined your life. You had to file bankruptcy, got a divorce. Huh? Toni, you ain't hold Toni accountable for nothing, huh? Whew, child. They like, nope. Toni throws out ideas. Tawanda's like, I did that. I did that. And she wants Toni to stop trying to be a peacemaker. Yes, Toni, stop. But Tawanda, I want you to see Toni for who she is. Clock that T. So Tawanda said, there's no peace when there's no chaos. True. Tamar says she always comes back to them to help them out. Tell us more, Tamar. Besides the $35,000 and the cell phone family plan, girl, I know you. Like, Tamar, are you not checking your bills, your credit report, your bank account every day? Because it sounds like you're going to end up like your sister. Oprah told Toni a long time ago when she found the first time, she said, you are supposed to always open your checking accounts, your statements, your bank statements. Oprah said, oh, you have Gucci plates and silverware and I'm rich and I don't even have that? Toni, no, Tamar, you better take charge of your finances before you file bankruptcy like your sister. Sisters, put an S on it. So Tamar starts to cry because she is breaking down. Phil don't even know what to say now. It's like it's just trauma and so much pain. Tamar says, I think it's just too late. It's just too late. It's getting out of hand. And it's never too late. It's never too late. It's never too late. But baby, that was the end of the episode. These sisters suck. And I'm sick of it. We got maybe 3 more episodes of this, and they need to go and wrap this up and never come back again. But besties, do me a solid. Share, comment, like, subscribe, notification bell, and I'll be back with another recap. It will be Bell Collective. All right. Bye, besties.